they end up like setting up in a room, and they start to explain the project. And the project is that all over the world they have found really horribly done reinterpretations of art depicting the same thing. A collection of stars in the sky, all being pointed out by humans. And for me, this is kind of bullshit because, as you know, personally studying art history, you've got cave paintings pointing this out. And in any cave painting whatsoever, the sky is never mentioned. Like, I don't know if I'm being really anal about this, but as far as cave paintings go, painting at the time was never about reinterpreting, certain events. You would draw, at the time, people who could draw were considered, like, supernatural, and they drew things around them, things that would teach others around them. That's why they drew animals, that's why they drew, bulls and stuff, because it's stuff that they need to, hunt, stuff that they need to work with, it's the world around them personified on a wall. So, I know I'm sounding like a prick right now, basically saying, well, this is not the same thing, but it's not. Because the human at this time, like, how old this picture is, the archaeologists say, is they're human depictions. They're humans pointing at the sky, and you didn't get a lot of that in cave paintings. Not until a little bit later, and not in the European region, for sure. But who knows, maybe this is just a secret find. But I couldn't get into that. And the same thing goes with, you got this Egyptian hieroglyph, and you've got a guy pointing up to the sky, and you've got, like, different kinds of ancient art, and they're all doing the same thing. And it kind of cuts off before, like, most of the classical Greek stuff. Which also brings up the question, so they just sort of petered out by then. I guess it's good to develop a timeline for this crap, but again, I don't care. The archaeologists say that with all these things in common, this one thing is for sure, and it's the constellation, and that we have to go up there and see what the hell is there, because it might mean the creation of man. And basically, they get called out to say, well, what makes you think, what makes you think that this is for sure? And Shaw, like an idiot, I'm sorry, not to say that being religious and being an idiot go hand in hand, but she's playing up the, I'm a scientist who's religious, so I can chalk things up to faith. And that's what she does here. She chooses to believe this has to do with the creation of man. And a lot of people have this beef with the movie, because as a scientist, you defeat what being a scientist is by saying, this is what I choose to believe, just because. She got that degree somehow. So, we go into some of the backstory with the characters on the ship. We got the captain, we got the drivers next to him, because they don't have much personality other than one guy being Asian, the other guy not being Asian, and they don't really do much. And then we introduce on Bitchface, and she's got this plush room with a hologram wall and a grand piano, and she just hates every fucking one and every fucking thing. And, she's got this high-tech room where it also comes with, I guess the most important part is that it comes with this hospital bed. This new, really interesting bit of sci-fi there, but it's basically this hospital bed that'll do any kind of procedure on you in any case of danger. And she basically has the balls to say, well, this is mine, and this is my room, and of course, this room also can become its own escape shuttle. It can detach and just sort of fly off. These are important parts, look, both of these, the hospital, whatever you want bed, and the escape mechanism of this room will become important later on in the movie. I mean, because they put so much focus on it, and that's what movies do. They focus on something for a long, long time, and they better use it, or else it becomes the Chekhov's gun. So this whole project is being funded by Peter Whalen. Like, honestly, I'm looking up these names right now. I guess all I remembered was Whalen because he had his fucking logo nearly, like, everywhere, or every time to remind you, every, like, 15 minutes or half hour. Every time you were on the ship, there was something to remind you of Whalen, I guess. The guy playing Wayland is Guy Pearce. And they have him dressed up in the shittiest, crappiest old person makeup. Like, it's... Like, the guys from Jackass did a better look at being old than this guy. You know, they've got him with a mushy-ass forehead. They've got him, like, completely covered with makeup just to make this guy look old. And I had to think, like, why couldn't they just get an old guy for this part? Why did they have to go with Guy Pearce? Why couldn't they just get an 80-year-old motherfucker to play an old man? But no, they had to put latex on this guy, or just completely make it non-believable that this guy is old. And Wayland, founding this project, of course, has his intercom part in the beginning of the movie, or during the announcement of the project, that he's funding it and he's gonna die, and he wants his creation David to sort of keep things in track for him.